Awesome. All right, everybody. This is Sarah Gustafson with Janice Mitchell Real Estate. I am so happy to have Minesh Baxi here with us today. He is one of the primary people in the country on the DISC assessment profile, which I am a huge fan of. And he is going to chat with us this afternoon about what it means for us. So, Minesh, thank you so much. And I turn it over to you.
Very good. Sarah is such a vibrant person. How many of you know that about her, right? She's exuding energy. She's just a fun, easy person to be around. And from just a few months that I've known her, I've been so impressed that she always is looking to help people. And she's somebody who's really, really looking forward to providing value to other people. Is that how you see her as well? Is that your perception too, right? And Carly, her right hand person, makes sure those things happen, correct? So I love it. So thank you for joining. I appreciate it. My name is Minesh Bakshi. And by now you have guessed, obviously, I'm from Massachusetts, right? So I was born there, right? Not really. I was born in a city called Agra. And if you don't know what Agra is famous for, maybe you've heard of Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is located in the city Agra, which is where I was born. I was not born in Taj Mahal. It's a tomb, by the way. A year ago, I did visit along with my family. My wife is from originally her family from China. We have two beautiful kids, 17-year-old and 13, and I'll show that in a minute here as well. My goal is very simple in this conversation. I want to give you an insight into using powerful online assessments so that you can have a little bit more idea on number one about yourself, like Melody was talking about. Number two, people that you are connected to, either because you are personally in relationship with that person or you are in a professional relationship, you're going to be hiring people, working around building a team, any of these areas. I recently released a book called $1 Million Team Secrets, and that book is providing a 7-step process for those who are looking to build a winning team around them. That's just a quick overview about me in that respect. I was computer programmer for 12 years. I hated my job. Was anybody in any job that they hated for a while? Anybody has that experience? Okay, there you are. Sarah is honest enough to say that, right? And my disc profile should have told me earlier that I shouldn't have been in that job because I'm a people guy. And I'm not the one going to be sitting in front of a computer all day long, programming, talking to a computer, an inanimate object. So I'm the guy who would be like, hey, you know what? It's time for a coffee break. Why? Because I can go talk to somebody. How many of you understand that, right? Okay. So I've been in trouble with that because I was not really keen to sit at one place talking to something that cannot talk back to me, or at least will not be a good listener to me. And that's the reason I'm a big fan of DISC assessment. If people had taken this assessment and used it on me, either when I was in school, college, or even some jobs, then they would have been able to guide me in the direction of what I really like to do. And DISC is something which is going to give you, and DISC is one of the tools that we use. And if you don't know what DISC is, I'll explain that in a minute as well. But the idea behind it is we are all not the same person. Have you figured that out yet? Right? Like, how come this person talks differently? So to give you an example, I have 17-year-old daughter whose profile is very different from my son who is 13-year-old, right? And literally my tone, my loud voice scares him. He literally runs away from me. So I've had to put some kibosh to that. Hey, you can't run away from your own dad, right? Okay. So it's interesting because we're all different. So if you get nothing from this conversation today, but you get a sense that, hey, people are different. So for example, how many of you been to a country where they spoke a language that's not English, and maybe you're not that familiar with the language? Has anybody gone to a country like that? So give me a shout out. What kind of countries have you been to?
Colombia.
Colombia. So they speak Espanol there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you speak any Spanish?
A little bit, not much.
Okay. How about you, Sarah?
Paris, France.
Where is France? So, s'il vous plaît, do you speak any French?
Un peu.
I don't know what that means either. So don't worry. A little. Okay. Is that what that means? I didn't know more than that. Who else raised their hand? Carly, did you raise your hand? Yeah, go ahead.
The Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. What language do they speak? Czech?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know what that language looks like or sounds like, right? How about you, Daniel?
No, I've never been out of the country or
okay.
know any foreign languages.
Okay. Okay, well, Canada is a foreign country, but they have French. They're in Quebec, right? Not far from you, right?
I actually have been to Canada. Yeah.
Exactly. If you've been to Montreal or you've been to Quebec City, right?
Yeah.
Which is not far from you, correct?
No.
No, not at all. How about you, Melody?
I've actually been to Canada and the Dominican.
Oh, yeah.
Republic.
Dominican, they speak Espanol there, right?
Mhm.
Fantastic. I was in Tulum, Mexico, which is near Cancun in January. So they speak Spanish there, right? ¿Cómo estás? You know, all that kind of stuff, right? I don't know much Spanish, right? So when you go to a different country where they speak a different language, how do you feel? So Melody, let me ask you, you went to Dominican Republic. I assume you don't know very well Spanish. Is that true or not? Maybe you know.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so you don't know, right?
I
So-
don't know.
Yeah. So what if you went there where everybody's speaking Spanish and then suddenly somebody comes to you and starts speaking in English? How do you feel about that?
Well, I felt out of place when they were talking in native tongue because I couldn't understand them. And then when they came and talked to me in English, then I felt included. Like, obviously I knew what they were talking about.
Exactly. So DISC is nothing but a language. Now here is the challenge. Just because Melody speaks English, Sarah speaks English, I kind of speak English, right? So what happens is people think we are speaking the same language. The reality is your tone, your speed, they are different. And your tone, your speed, and a few other components actually spells a different language. And if you and I don't pay attention to those things, and we don't understand how to use it in our communication, we may think we are speaking the same language. The reality is other people may perceive we are speaking a different language. Very important, really, really very important. And this applies to people in your life, whether it is personal relationships or professional relationships. My wife's communication style and my style are different. It's almost like speaking a different language. And that's why what I want you to get out of in our conversation today is, am I paying attention enough to at least understand that they're speaking possibly a different language? So how do you know they're speaking a different language or not? You have an idea what would be somebody who speaks maybe the same language, right? And I'm talking of the profile wise. If somebody's speaking the same language as you are, what would be the result? What do you think would be happening in communication with somebody who speaks the same language as you do?
I
Any
think that if
thoughts on
someone
that?
speaks the same language as you, you probably have a very natural flow and you understand each other well.
Exactly, exactly. Have you seen two people talk like, hey, excited? They're just talking and talking. They're just having a great time together. It's likely they have the same language. But have you talked to somebody where maybe you felt uncomfortable, maybe a little bit awkward, and the conversation didn't really last long? Has that ever happened to you?
Mhm.
Okay, possibly. So I want to make sure I have access to sharing the screen here, which I do. Very good. So I'm going to show you a quick video clip. So share sound. Can I show the video? Let me just see if I can show the video. So let me know if you cannot. Can you see the video?
Yes.
Okay, let's watch it.
Wait. They're all sloths?
What, are you saying that because he's a sloth, he can't be fast? Flash, flash, 100-yard dash. Buddy, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Officer Judy Hop, CPD, how are you?
I am doing
Fine?
well. What
Hang in there.
can I do
Well, I was hoping you could run a
for
play.
you
Well, I was hoping you
today?
Well, I was hoping you could run a play for us. We are in a really big hurry.
What's the plate
29 T.
number?
29THD03.
2 9 T
HD03.
H
D03.
D
03.
0.
3.
Hey, Flash, want to hear a joke?
No!
Sure.
Okay. What do you call a three-humped camel?
I don't know.
Pregnant.
Ah. Ah.
Ah, yes, very funny, very funny. Can we please just focus on the text?
Hey.
Oh, wait.
Priscilla.
Oh, no!
Yes. Flash?
What do
No!
you call
A three-humped camel? Pregnant! Okay, great,
Three
we got it. Please jump.
humped?
Hurry, we gotta beat the rush hour in. It's night!
Okay, good. So how many of you enjoyed that short clip there? So what was one thing you got from the clip? Just give a quick sense of it.
I thought it was funny.
It was funny, right? Very good. Thank you.
They were speaking a different language.
They were speaking a different language. Very good point. Anybody else? Is there anybody you can identify?
I'm the
with?
rabbit.
You are the rabbit. You are the bunny, right?
100%.
Okay. Okay. What else? Anybody else had some insight? So there were three characters, right? The fox, the bunny, and the sloth, right? And I'll explain what those mean right now. So what do you think Bunny's focus was?
To get the
Get
information
out.
to move on.
Yes. I want results and I want them now. I want to get things done now. How much patience did she have with the sloth? None, right? Was she friendly or just businesslike?
I think she was a little bit friendly.
Okay.
Of course you do.
Well, I know that may seem the case, but she was really more businesslike when you compare it with the fox and the sloth, right? Right? Yeah. So you can clearly see laser focus. This is what I want. Don't get in my way. Anything else? What is the fox looking to do?
Have the other person like him.
Very good point. Good. Anything else?
He was more relaxed, like
He
just
was more relaxed.
easygoing about the whole situation, like, why are you getting upset type of thing.
Correct. Correct. So he starts the conversation. Flash, flash, 100-yard dash, So he's somebody who is animated, fun, and really wants to enjoy people and relationships, right? That's what his focus is. Is he really looking for results? No. He's looking for fun and relationships. What about the sloth? What insight or what do you see about the sloth?
He was just taking his time,
Okay.
and he was okay with it though.
Yeah. So he was slow, right? What else? Did you
Typical
notice about the sloth?
DMV employee.
Huh?
Typical DMV employee.
Typical DMV employee. Very possible, right? Okay. Anything else you noticed about the sloth? He wanted to make sure he got the exact license plate number. Did you notice how he was deliberate? 2, 9. Do you think there is a need in your life, whether it's personal or professional, that the person who is doing it really pays attention to every single detail? Do you think that's important in your profession? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for example, Emily, if you have a processor who is like, this number looks almost close enough, would that work for you?
You're making me cringe. No. Not work for me.
Would not work for you, correct? And
No.
that's the key. That's exactly the point, right? In a transaction coordinator situation, right? Do you want the person to handle the details of the transaction properly? The answer is absolutely. Now, the person who tends to be fast sometimes can overlook details. Would you agree that's possible? Right? So typically when you meet with somebody who is handling details, they tend to be relatively slow because it just makes sense. You got to be careful about every single step, and they want to follow the steps before they can get results. And this is a very simple, very insightful clip that now you can go around and actually you can look in your cell phone, your database, and say fox, bunny, sloth, fox, bunny, sloth. You can identify people that you interact with.
I'm already doing that.
Pardon?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You might be like, oh, I don't want to see any one of them as being negatively portrayed, right? But it gives you an idea. So when the bunny was being very fast, authoritative, did it really speed up the process with the sloth? No. All it did was irritate the bunny, right?
Yeah.
All it did was irritate the bunny. So would it not make sense for us to pay attention? If we are talking to a sloth, should we talk like a bunny or should we talk like a sloth?
Like the sloth.
Exactly. So if you have somebody who is going to be in charge to get results, you want to hire the sloth? No. Do you want somebody who is going to be greeting people at an event, whether you are hosting a party, whether you are hosting a get together, or you go to a restaurant when somebody is brought in? Do you want that person to be the bunny or do you want that person to be the fox?
The fox.
I say
The fox.
Yeah.
The fox is like, hey, welcome. How are you doing today? We are so glad you showed up. Imagine hiring a bunny. Have you ever called an office where you talk to the person, the receptionist or somebody picks up the phone? What do you want? Well, they hired a bunny in the position of a fox. Do you see the difference?
Yep.
Which is why once you look at this process, and I'm trying to be less technical, less jargonistic today, so that it's easier to understand the concept rather than look at D, I, S, or C. The bunny in this case is a D, which is very direct, very assertive. Let's get things done now. The fox is a typical I, fun, friendly. And did you notice when the bunny kept talking, the fox was like, hey, I'm not getting attention. So let me tell a joke. Now I have the attention. You see that? An I, which is influencing, fun, friendly kind of person, which is the fox, usually wants to tell jokes because they want to be liked, approval. That's important to them. So when you look at that, it becomes easier. The sloth is like a combination of steadiness and compliance, S and C. But the idea behind that I want you to understand today, whether you remember D, I, S, or C or not, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is, are you paying attention to their speed with which they talk? Can you sense whether they're being very friendly or they're being very businesslike? And if you start observing that and you start connecting with them the way they speak, you will find yourself building bridges, building rapport much quicker with other people. So imagine somebody in your life that you really don't have great communication with. Most likely their communication style is not your communication style. Is that likely to be the case? Now you both have English, right? But
Yeah.
it's still not the same language. Good. So good. So how can you apply? Yes, go ahead, Melody.
You could apply that in a relationship, both male and female, like a husband and wife as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I
Absolutely.
was just thinking, although my husband and I love each other to death, we do not communicate well at all. I'm thinking now bunny, sloth, fox as you're talking. So it's very interesting that you're taking this approach with us, because I actually now can actually put it into play.
Yes, which is my main intention today. My main
Yes.
intention is not to give you dump a lot of information on you. I want to make sure there is at least one insight that makes you, in some ways, a better communicator. That's really my goal here. So my wife and I are opposite in communication style as well, right? She's more of a sloth. I'm more of a fox, by the way. Okay. So we go to, like, driving around, we travel quite a bit. And so let's say on the road, we are stopping at a fast food restaurant. A sloth would walk into the restaurant looking at the menu as if this is the first time they saw the menu. Now, they've been to McDonald's before, Burger King, Taco Bell, or whatever, right? They look at it the first time. I'm seeing Emily smile, so I think she can relate to what I'm talking about. And the fox, or I'm more of a bunny in that time period, because we switch depending on sometimes, so I can become a bunny when I need to be, right? So I'm a bunny. It's like I already know before I walk in what I'm going to order. So it's like, boom. Okay, let me order. Let's use the restroom and let's leave. That's how my brain is, right? My wife is, now she has been trained, so she's kind of scared. She's like, okay, I need to prepare before I walk in. It's not really good, right? But she knows, I'm going to be in that mode of, I know what I want. Let's order it quickly and get out of it. But she's like, let me enjoy the experience of looking at the menu. Let me see how to make a choice here. What do I really feel like today? You see the difference? Now, none of this is right or wrong. So I want to make sure you all understand that. It's just that we are different. We are different. Good. So any questions on what we covered so far? Fantastic. Fantastic. So we'll be wrapping up in a couple of more minutes. So I will show you one quick way that, so if how many of you would like to get some free education on what we just talked about in short video clips, so you can watch it and then try to understand it at your own leisure? How many of you think that would be a good thing to do? Okay, good. So let me show you the screen here. So you can take that down here. Oops. So if you're on your computer, just go to disk1234.com. So right now, if you're on computer, go to disk1234.com. There is no cost. It's free to you right now. Put in your name, email address, and then you'll have access to these video clips. Okay, very simple, very quick, takes about 30 seconds. Takes about 30 seconds and you can actually use that. Okay. So if you were able to go to disk1234.com and actually put in your information successfully, can you raise your hand so I know that you were able to access it? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. And if you have any questions, you can just email to me as well. So one of the things that Sarah did, Carly did, is they took a more detailed 20-minute questionnaire, which goes through the assessment. It's an exhaustive 40+ page report that you get about you. You can use it for your communication, knowing more about yourself, like Melody said, right? You can use it to learn more so that you can hire the right person that you need on your team. Or in cases of husband-wife communication, as an example, children, you can learn more about how to communicate and also pick your profession that might be the right profession. Like my daughter is a high D, high I. I know exactly how to deal with her, right? Okay, which makes it very easy for me because I know her style. Now I know my son's profile, except I have to really twist myself into a pretzel to communicate with him because it's not natural for me. Everybody understand what I'm talking about, right? But knowing this will make your job a lot easier as you try to get along with other types of people. Good. So anybody has any questions for me at this time?
No?
I just want to say, Minesh, Carly and I did the discs, and it really helped us understand how to communicate with each other better. And that I am extremely grateful for.
Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate Sarah. She has been very kind in referring me to some good people around in her community as well, which is one of the reasons I was very willing to do this, because I know she wants to add value to people in her life. She's been very generous in providing connections to me as well. So I just wanted to make sure that I can provide value to her as well. Some of you may be questioning, how much does it cost to get the assessment? The 20-minute assessment is $150. And because you're referred by Sarah, I'll take a few minutes to walk you through so you actually know how to apply it. Now, for some people, they are really looking to find the right person on their team. Best person for me, that is a client for me, is somebody typically between 10 and 50 employees who are facing some challenges to say, do I have the right person in the right role? Because they're not getting the most production from those people, or maybe those people are not getting along well with people, or maybe they're not doing a customer service job as well, or they are in sales, they are really not selling. And if the employer is facing any of these situations, I would love to guide them, and then they can learn more about using these. There are other tools as well, other processes that I use with them as well, in order to help them build a winning team so they can get the results that they're looking for. Anything else, Sarah, that you would like me to communicate today?
No, I mean, I just appreciate you coming on and sharing this with the folks in my sphere, because as I've said, what you do is so important. And the more that we can learn about how to better effectively communicate with the people around us, it just makes everyone happier. And really,
Yeah.
That's why we're all here, right? Is to find our purpose, find what we should be doing and where we fit in this world. And when we can understand that we all have different methods and styles of communicating, it helps just make our days easier.
Exactly. It makes a huge, huge difference. So thanks, Sarah, for the opportunity. Carly, a pleasure meeting you. Emily, Dan, and Melody as well. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm there as well. So if you want to connect with me there, that would be a pleasure. And I look forward to supporting and connecting with you, assisting you as you grow your businesses as well. Thanks for the opportunity. I'll take off right now. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Minesh. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.